Hello, I'm Sarah Hayden. Welcome to PortMedia Open Studio. I'm here with Major Todd Hughes from the Salvation Army, and we are going to talk today about the kettles and some of the other things that people can do to help support your mission.
Yes. So we are about a week out from ending kettles. We have this week and then Christmas Eve next week, so Monday, and then we're done. And we will
get this show out ASAP, so people will have a chance to see that.
Okay, great. So as of adding in the kettles that we collected on Saturday, we are right around $32,000.
Wow.
Our goal is $55,000.
Ouch.
Yeah, so we've only got about a week to collect that. So it's looking like we're going to come in under.
So maybe people, when they're putting, like I put $1 in, maybe I can put 2 or 5 in.
Yeah, we've had some good groups out for us. Rotary was out last Saturday. They did a fantastic job at Market Basket. The Triton track team was out at Shaw's on Saturday. They did a great job. Jim Kelcourse was out at Market Square, and he was standing on the triangle.
It's hard to say no to Jim.
He was stopping traffic at the triangle by the Bullnose, and he did a great job. I've had volunteers at Starbucks, and we've had various other clubs out. The Lions Club has been out for us. The Masonic Lodge has been out for us. The Knights of Columbus, the Ancient Order Hibernians, they've all been out for us. Lions Club is going to be out again on the invitation night and next Saturday. So we've got a lot of great groups. The police department's been out collecting toys. The fire department's been out, and they've both had kettles out at the same time. The police department did how they do their beards in November.
Yes.
They did an extra month in December for us.
Oh, that's nice.
And they collected above their goal, and they presented us with that money last week. So we've had a lot of great help, a lot of great people, and we have checks coming in, things like that. So
when you, I have in the past I have probably asked, during different interviews, how the money is allocated. Does it go to individual families, or exactly what do you do with the donations?
It goes right into the main operating account, and it gets used for the Christmas assistance, but it also gets used throughout the year for the programs and services that we offer.
So specifically for Newburyport or Greater Newburyport?
Well, Greater Newburyport, because our service area is Newburyport, Salisbury, Amesbury, and Newbury.
I see. We can also try to get them to put this show over there. There's still time.
Right.
We can get it over there, David, I know. We're going to work hard to do that.
And then some of the other communities, Merrimack, West Newbury, and I mean those are service unit areas, but we do help in those areas too if there's not enough resources in Salvation Army service units to help out with that.
So this is probably a dumb question, I'm not sure. I mean, so do you cover the whole United States?
Salvation Army is a worldwide agency.
That, yes, I've been reading about that just quickly before we came on.
100 and close to 140 countries now, I believe.
Wow. So in the United States, though, so you were just talking about our area in Massachusetts.
We're the Eastern Territory. The Massachusetts is in the Eastern Territory, which covers the whole Eastern United States, from Maine down to New Jersey, which it also includes the Virgin Islands and those islands down there. We also have the Central Territory, which is the Central United States, obviously Western Territory and Southern Territory.
Wow.
So we're split up into 4 territories.
And they're employees, they're paid positions, and then you have volunteers that do the work, like the kettles and things like that.
Yeah, we have some paid positions that also do kettles, but mostly it's volunteers.
Now, we were talking a little bit before the camera came on about just you coming into Newburyport. I think you've been here, is it like 5 years or so?
4 years.
4,
We're in our
okay.
4th year.
Yeah, so you were saying sometimes you have some say about where you go, but how do you like being in Newburyport? I mean, do you think we're generous?
It's a great community. It's a beautiful community, first of all.
It is beautiful.
I mean, you can't beat the community for where it is. It's a wonderful community to live in.
So a lot of people would think there may not be as much need here because there seems to be more, higher average income and things like that. So maybe you could speak to that.
There is a need. I mean, because there's a higher income, but there's also a higher cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
And some folks who struggle, working two minimum wage jobs to try to make ends meet, and they still can't make ends meet. They still come to us for help with paying rent or paying utilities or coming to our food pantry to get food, because they have to decide what they're going to pay, and then there might not be enough left to get everything they need at the grocery store, those sorts of things. So there's always that need of something.
So if people are looking for some support from the Salvation Army, do they go directly to your office and fill out an application, or how would they access that?
They come in and they sit down with our intake person, Liz, and they just talk about their needs. And we fill out just a basic information sheet, and then we try to get an assessment of what their greatest need is, and then what we are able to do to help them. And then if there's needs that we cannot help them with, then we can refer them to another agency which might be better able to help them. So if we can help them, say, with their rent or their utilities, and then we know another agency in town might be able to help them with the other issues they may be having, then we refer them to that other agency. So then we try to help them get all of their needs taken care of, or at least addressed.
So you were mentioning, again, before we got the camera rolling, about how many things that have really happened in the area that have impacted people's ability to maybe give now, because they've been giving.
Right. Yeah, well, obviously the Merrimack Valley gas explosions is
it's ongoing.
The big thing, and that's happened to our neighbors. And like you said, that's ongoing. There's still folks who are not in their homes. They're either living in the trailers or in a hotel. And a lot of them have gotten in there, but they're still
I just
waiting
heard on
for
the news.
things.
It's not done yet.
So, those folks are still in need as well. And we had the hurricanes in Florida, and then the wildfires in California.
It's quite devastating.
There's been a lot of devastation, and there's still work. I know there's still work going on in all those areas in Florida as well. We still have Salvation Army people going down there. There may even be another team from Massachusetts going down after the new year to do some more work.
So when people, when you're talking about a team going down, are those people that have been trained by the Salvation Army? Or so if I was interested in volunteering, what's the process?
Well, there's a basic training that you go through for disaster services, and then there's specific training you can go through for different parts of disaster services. There's working off of a canteen, there's emotional and spiritual care, there's chaplaincy work, and there's various other things that you can do.
I had not been aware until you told me earlier that you're an ordained minister.
I am.
I didn't realize that. I don't know. I just didn't. It just never occurred to me that you also go through that as well. And so do you have? Do you give sermons or?
We have church services every Sunday at the Salvation Army.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. I like to think I'm not the only one not aware of that, but I was not aware of that.
Yeah, every Sunday.
And is it open to anybody?
Anybody.
Wow, interesting. Do you have music?
We do. We do have music. Sometimes it's just me playing guitar and people singing along, or we have CDs.
We were talking about guitar earlier, and you said you didn't play as much, but that gives you an opportunity at least there to maybe play a little bit. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, he's a guitar player out there. Interesting. There's a lot of people that like music and play music in this area, but you had been mentioning you're busy. I think this is happening to everybody. They become so busy with work, and our technology, I think, just doesn't make it easier. To me, it's added a lot because people want you right now. Everyone wants instant access. Answer my email right away. It just seems very overwhelming.
It's true. Call me back. And I mean, our cell phones and our gadgets and our tablets and all those things, and it gives us instant access, so people want an instant response.
Yes, and that's not always possible. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's added a great burden generally to the workforce. I mean, people I know anyway. It just seems like you're up. I'm sure you're up looking at your email, and before you're even working, you're already working,
Yeah.
answering, trying to clear all that out before you actually start your day at work. And
That's true.
Yeah.
Or answering things. One of the things we do as well too that at the Salvation Army, besides the social service work, is we also open as an emergency cold weather shelter.
Yes, I've heard about that. You have a generator down there.
We do, and when the temperature gets to 20 or below at night, we open the doors for the homeless to come, or
that's good to know.
even someone who's had their heat shut off can come. And I usually end up staying the night at the building, and then we just set up cots in various rooms, and
Wow.
people are welcome to come in. I usually lock the doors at 9 o'clock, but I mean, I've had people knock on the door after 9 o'clock, and I'll let them in. And
Oh, that's great to know.
Yeah.
That's a huge resource. I can't imagine people being outside when it's freezing.
yeah, we were open a total of 36 days last year, and 3 of those days was the nor'easter we had in March, where we didn't have power for 3 days. And at that point, we were actually a regional shelter. MEMA had made us a regional shelter, and we had the Red Cross in helping us at that point. But we've already been open 17 days this year, and it's not
Wow.
even January yet.
Wow, that's a lot. Is it because of the cold weather?
It's because the temperature has dropped down that low
Oh, that's.
in the evening.
Oh, I'm not. I see a lot of things you're just not aware of. I don't know. Geez, maybe I'm got to get more aware here. Yeah, that just made. So if someone wants to, are there other ways to donate other than just the kettles? I know people can drop off a check, but what about food or?
Food.
Do you take any other types of things?
Yeah,
Jackets. Or?
jackets, coats, blankets, those sorts of things. We have a couple of people who know about the shelter, support the shelter, and they'll bring in blankets and sleeping bags and those sorts of things because they know the guys are going to come in, and most of them don't have anything except what they can fit in a backpack and what they're wearing. So we try to keep a stockpile of blankets and sleeping bags, so we have those things on hand. So when those guys come in, we have something for them to
Can they
cover
take
up.
that when they leave?
They can take the sleeping bag and things like that. Unfortunately, though, some of them will use it a night or two and just leave it wherever they've been sleeping.
Yeah.
So, but if they need something, we
Yeah.
don't hold it back from them. I mean, if they need a blanket, they can take the blanket because we're not open every night. You know, when the temperatures get up above 20 into the normal range, then we close, and then
Yeah.
they go.
I know a lot of people find it hard to believe that there are homeless people in this area and actually in Newburyport, but there are.
There are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not not as many as like in the bigger areas, but we do have a few that are here year round.
Yeah, it's always surprising to me, but it's really great that you're there and you're able to provide a resource for these people to use and stay warm. And you know, you give them food too when they're there.
Yeah. Well, there's an agency or church, usually a church. Somebody does a meal just
Yes.
about every day, a lunch or somebody does a lunch and or a dinner. And then there are nights when there isn't something being served, and then we have those nights we know. And if the shelter's open, then we try to provide something at that point.
That's something that would be good for us to put on our regular bulletin board. I think we had it in the past, but just what days where the meals are.
I
so
can get
people
you a list of
Yeah, that would be
everybody
great.
that does it and what days and times.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Also, we could put maybe just in the rotation some of the things that, you know, people could, you know, donate. I know they do a diaper bank, but I can imagine there's got to be some things that, you know, you like to keep in stock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's easy enough to get.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, because we have round tables and meetings all the time, and people provide lists and stuff like that. So we can certainly get you that information.
Well, I thank you for coming in and speaking with me.
Thank you
and,
for inviting me.
It's great work that you're doing, and
Thank
I
you.
hope that you can meet your goal in the next week.
Get as close as we can.
Yes, I hopefully people will feel more and more generous as it gets closer to the holiday, and hopefully we have some good weather that gets people out more shopping. I don't know if they donate more. I'm not sure.
Saturday, the temperature gauge in the car said 56. And we had a really good day Saturday. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah. All right. Well, it's great having you here, and
Thank
good
you.
luck. And I hope to hear you play your guitar sometime.
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
that would be great. All right. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in doing an interview in the community and you would like to become a member, stop by and see what it's all about. Love to have you sitting in this spot interviewing people in the community. Thank you for watching.